Hi friends, my name is Rohan Vasudev, and in this session we are going to talk about list and how do we create a list and some of the important aspects of the list in Unity C Sharp. So we have already created a list here and the name of the list is player names. The list is of data type string here. So all the values that we can add to the list will be of data type string here. Also, we have initialized the list using a new keyword. Inside the start function for code 1, we are adding values Dan and Sam to the list using add method for the list. The values Dan and Sam inside the list can be accessed using index here. The index of a list will always start from 0. So for code 2, we are printing value Dan, which is at 0th index, and value Sam, which is at the first index in the list player names. For code 3, again, we are removing the value at the 0th index, which is your Dan. So when you remove the value Dan from the 0th index, the value will be replaced by the value at the first index, which is Sam in this case. So Sam will replace Dan here. And when we print value inside player names at the 0th index, in this case for code number 3, Sam will be printed in the Unity console using debug.log function here. For code 4, we are inserting a value at the first index. We are inserting a value Rachel at the first index using insert method here for the list. For code 5, we are printing all the values from the list using a for loop. We have already declared a for loop. The value of I has been initialized with 0. Player names.count here is the number of elements inside the list player names, and I has been incremented here by 1 on every iteration. We are then printing the value Sam here, which is at the 0th index on the first iteration. And on the second iteration, we are then printing the value Rachel inside the Unity console. Once the value of I becomes 2 here, the loop will be exited and terminated. So let's get into the Unity editor and let's see the output for the entire code inside the Unity console. Okay, so here it is. Here is the output, printing values from the list using index. Okay, Dan initially was at 0th index and Sam was at first index. So we are printing Dan and Sam here, printing values from the list after removing the value at 0th index. Since Dan has been removed from the list now, Sam is on 0th index now, printing all the values from the list using loop and index. Okay, so that's it guys, that's it for the list here. In the next session, again, we are going to continue with some generic classes collection. Thank you so much. I will see you in the next session.